Hi, my name is Bonnie. I'm HIV positive and I'm undetectable. I've been HIV positive for going on 29 years. Um, I've I've been undetectable for a good majority of those years. I've never really been sick. I've never had no opportunistic infections. I found out I was HIV positive back in 1991. I was actually incarcerated at the time, and I gave birth to my second child. And at that time, I had to actually go back to jail. And my mother stepped in so she wouldn't go into the system and took her home. 3 weeks later, she got very sick. They had her tested for drugs, for cocaine, because I was actively using at the time. I am also a recovering drug addict of 26 years, but at that time I was actively using, and my behavior is what led up to me becoming HIV positive, because I was a sex worker. So they had her tested for cocaine. She actually came back negative for that, but there was people around the family that had knew other, like actually one other person that I knew of, because I really didn't know a whole lot about it at the time when I was diagnosed, that knew one other person that had actually died from AIDS. So they had told my mother to have her tested for HIV. So they did, and she came back positive. So that being said, they basically came in to jail and they told me that my daughter was HIV positive and I needed to be tested. It was a lot because I was already in jail. It was like already a low point of my life. And so I was like very angry about it. I knew nothing really about it at that time. All I knew was that you get HIV AIDS, you die. This is back in 1991, and it was, kind of just, stuff was just coming out around that time about it. But it was still very, it is still today, but there was a lot of stigma around it. We're better today where we're at with that, but it's still there. I believe it'll always be there to a certain extent, because there's the ignorant people that don't get educated or there's some people fear even wanting to be educated or knowing anything about it. I just feel like they feel like if they even bring up that discussion that, oh God, it's a hard thing to talk about, I think, sometimes for people. There was a lot when I first found out, but I did, like I said, eventually start learning more about it. And my thing with it was being a recovering drug addict and alcoholic, because I had decided, I've already been to jails and institutions, and for me it was like death was knocking on my door. So I'm like, this can't. I gotta do something here. So I actually ended up going to a 28-day program, rehab, got cleaned myself up. My mother kept both of my children, which was another hard thing for me to do, but I did it. She kept them both. Well, I got clean, learned how to live clean and sober, and I basically, in that time, I felt like I had learned from recovery that secrets will kill you. So that like stuck with me, and I was just like, I can't, this is something that, like, that could keep me using drugs if I keep it a secret, or it's something that could make me like I can turn it around and do something good with it. People that ask me, as a person being HIV positive, I get questions all the time about that type of stuff, and I get questions about even, wow, well, people that have known me in my circle for a long time, you've never even been sick, like just stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I haven't, because I take my meds, I do what I'm supposed to be doing, you know, I, so, no, I haven't been sick. I'm sorry, I'm undetectable. I can have relationships, you know, I'm a human being.